So right off the bat, how much did you spend this week on new comics? I don't think I spent that much. I only spent, I think, $20. 20 bucks isn't bad. I spent about $40. So altogether, between the two of us, we spent a little over 60 bucks. Between the two of us, I don't think that sounds right. I think it's a flat $60, if you understand what I'm saying. You might be right about that.
I can tell you this, I was in math class with Bueller for years. That guy was horrible at math. I don't know what he's talking about. I was great at math. He cheated off me all the time.
Okay, let me show you the books I picked up this week. Like I said, mainly just Marvel and a couple independent books that I've been looking for quite some time. Let me know what you thought, if any of these are hidden gems or if any of these that you like. But the first one I got was Daredevil, number 12. This has been a great series. This has always been on my pull list now for the last, I'd say, 4 to 5 months. And it's been a great title. But this one is by Chip Zdarsky. I haven't read this one yet, but I read some of the other books, and it's really good. The other one I got, and this one I get multiple copies of because I have this on pull lists at 2 different shops. This is Immortal Hulk number 24. This is the Alex Ross cover. I mean, really, this is the only series that I know of that the A cover every single time is the best cover to get. As far as I'm concerned, Alex Ross can do every single cover of every book in my collection, and I wouldn't get tired of it. The guy is awesome. Yeah, every one of the Alex Ross covers on the Immortal Hulk series has just been great. And also his series on Captain America, all the covers he's done for that one, awesome. You throw in the fact that Al Ewing is writing this, and it's a great series, it's a combination for a winner every time.
Whether he likes it or not, I know that Travis has a full run of Captain America. I'm taking him.
Next one up, of course, is House of X number 6. This one comes to an end for the House of X. Of course, Power of X is next week, or Power of 10. Do you know, is it X or 10? Yeah, I don't think anybody really cares either, to be honest. But I haven't read this one. And actually, I stopped reading the series after the first 3 issues. And I wanted to wait till they all come out. And I'm going to give them all a read over the weekend as soon as the next one comes out. I'm curious to see how it is. Okay, this is where I ran into some problems. Because there was a bunch of number 1s by Marvel that came out this week. So I got almost all of them.
He can't help himself. He always buys number 1s. And so do I.
But unfortunately, I was pretty much disappointed in every single number 1 that Marvel put out. Let's start with this one. This is Contagion number 1. I was looking forward to this. I saw in your pile that you got Deceased. I've loved that series, so I thought maybe this is kind of on the bar with that. It is not. Very disappointed. It's kind of a kid's book from what I noticed. Didn't like it very much. I might get number 2. Apparently it's coming out weekly, and I didn't know that. But honestly, after the bad taste this left in my mouth, I'm probably going to pass. Another one, Spider-Verse, number 1, also came out. I read this one as well. Again, disappointed in this number 1. This is a definitely pass. This is the only one I'm going to get. I'm not going to go ahead and pick up any of the other ones. Not good at all. Okay, another one that I kind of had high hopes for, Ghost Rider. Wanted to jump on this, picked it up. Didn't care for it. Didn't grab me. I'm kind of glad I got the first issue. But, you know, it's just not me. It's not my thing. Have you read Ghost Rider before? I haven't read Ghost Rider in a really long time. I read some of the ones that came out in the 90s.
I've never read Ghost Rider.
And then some of the older ones before that. But as far as anything recent, it's a pass. Yeah, I like some of the older ones. But the newer ones, they haven't done anything for me. Unfortunately, this is another pass. But here's another number 1 that came out. And this one I enjoyed. And I'm actually trying to collect all the Absolute Carnage books. This is Immortal Hulk Absolute Carnage number 1. I read this one. The artwork in it wasn't that great, at least not for me. It might appeal to some people. But I read it and I really liked the story. I liked the premise of Bruce Banner kind of relinquishing himself to Venom or a symbiote. And I thought that was kind of cool. That's kind of what happens in this book towards the end. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. I think this is a 3-issue series. Is this one going to be on your pull list? I have to tell you, our pull list is pretty much identical. Do you understand why? Yeah, I got to make sure to add it to mine because I don't have this one. I just have the regular Absolute Carnage on my pull list.
I don't think he understands.
But I'll have them add it as soon as I go in next time. That was all for the number ones from Marvel. Let me go ahead and show you some of the other ones that were normally on my pull list. This is Savage Avengers, and this was okay. I love the David Finch cover. I think that's pretty cool. But the artwork inside, I didn't care for, and it's kind of a standalone story with Punisher and Conan. Kind of an interesting combination. And Conan has a machine gun, and he's really enjoying mowing some people down with that thing. But very self-contained story with those two. And then there's a surprise appearance at the end. We'll just give it away. It's Doctor Doom shows up at the end, and it's going to go somewhere from there. But it didn't grab me too much. But like I said, the cover looks good. That's the only reason I bought it. Next one of my favorite characters, and sticking with the Punisher. This is the Punisher. This is number 16. Love this cover. This series is very dark. And there's nothing wrong with a little dark Punisher because that's who the character is. He's a dark character.
I'm not ashamed to say that that Punisher movie from the 80s with Dolph Lundgren was one of my favorites. I miss that guy.
That's exactly what this book is as well. I definitely love this cover. There was about 2 or 3 different ones, but the A cover, which is this one, this is the one I picked up. Punisher, easily one of my all-time favorite characters. So that's everything I had for Marvel this week. A lot of misses, but some of them were pretty good. Like I said, I'm not going to stick with the majority of those number ones I picked up, so those are gone. But I always like picking them up. You never know what you're going to miss. I have some independent titles left, like 3 more books, but go ahead and show some of the ones you got. Okay, so obviously you got quite a few more books than I did, and I just got DC ones on my pile, but we got to show DC some love. But this first one is not doing DC any favors.
DC love? I hope Sam doesn't watch this video.
I got Batman number 80. This is the City of Bane storyline. Man, I read this one, and it was better than the other 2 issues, 78 and 79.
Batman number 78 and 79, those were horrible. They were like romance novels. Magnum P.I. with a porn stash going on. For Batman, the worst.
But this one was okay, and they did something weird with the artwork in there, like different panels had different colorations. I didn't quite understand that at all, but I think they were just kind of going for a different feel, and I didn't like the artwork inside as well, but I'm curious to see what you thought about the previous issues of this book. Those last 2 Batman books, number 78 and 79 that Tom King put out, those were horrible. I didn't enjoy those one bit. It's almost like he took a break on those 2 issues and saved it up for a little bit on this one, and hopefully 81 kind of leads into something we've all been waiting for since issue 77, which is when Alfred was killed. I don't think I could have said it any better myself, Bueller. But let me show you the next book I got, and that was Justice League number 33. This is the Year of the Villain. I haven't read this one yet, but I did hear that this is a key. Apparently there's a first appearance of a team or a character, some kind of villain. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at it this weekend. Another DC book I got, and everybody should be picking these up. Let's just be honest. These are the facsimiles, and DC's doing a great job. This is Batman 251. Great book, great Joker cover, and artwork by Neil Adams. I talked to Neil Adams just recently. That didn't go so well.
Let me tell you something about Neil Adams. That guy got me.
But I love this book, so I had to pick it up. You should definitely get it if you get a chance. And sticking with Joker books, this is the Joker, and I don't like that they changed the cover. This is the Joker limited series that was out in like the 80s, early 80s, I think. And it's a $1 book, but they don't cover the exact same cover that was on that one. They made an original piece. I would have liked to have seen the regular cover. I think that would have been cool, but all in all, it's not bad, and it's only $1. Next one and last one on my list is an awesome one. I'm curious to hear your thoughts here in a minute, but it is Deceased number 5. I've loved this series, and let me tell you, this wasn't the cover I wanted. I actually wanted the regular cover, but it was all dinged up at the shop I went to, and the other shop, they didn't even get there, so I don't know what's going on with this book. But let me tell you about this one, and full spoilers ahead. This one is devastating, man. I mean, characters in this book get ripped in half. Literally, that starts out with Lex Luthor he gets pretty much blown in half.
Blown in half. I like that.
And then the Flash, he turns bad. He gets infected. And so Superman literally meets him like in the middle of the planet or Earth, because Flash is running around crazy spreading the virus. And he's like, there's no way I can catch him, but I can run into him. And they run into each other, and he hits the Flash, and Flash gets split in half. It's gross, but Flash is dead. And then some of Flash's bones get stuck inside of Superman.
That's the first time I've ever heard someone say bones in Superman.
And guess what? Superman is infected. He does have a little delay before he turns, so he kind of says goodbye to his son and family and whoever is left, and he takes off and flies up into outer space. I don't know if he gets away far enough, because he does turn as he gets to outer space, but all in all, this was great. There's only one more to go in this series. This is probably my favorite book going on right now. I'm curious to see what you thought. Honestly, I think Deceased is probably my favorite book that's out right now. It's a shame that there's only one more to go, but I'm definitely looking forward to the conclusion. I've loved it. Even the tie-in that came out a couple weeks ago, I thought that was pretty good. It's the top book on my list right now, and it's almost done. You got a booger right there, and it's creeping me out. Right there? No. Right there? No. Right there? No. Right there? You're messing with me, aren't you? Yeah. You always do that. Can I show my books? Okay. Dead End Kids #2. I've been looking for this series, and I found not only #2, but I got #1. So I found both of them today. I'm looking forward to reading these. This is the first time I've even seen this series, and they had the first 2 issues. And apparently #3 came out today, and nobody had that one. But I'm glad I got these first 2. I've heard a lot about these books. I've talked about them a lot, but I've never seen them. So I'm definitely going to take the time and read them.
He's never going to read those books. I'll read them.
And see if the book lives up to the hype. I'm hoping it does. The last book I picked up, and I read this one, and I really enjoyed it. This one might look familiar. This is Dead Eyes. And this is what the Dead Rabbit was. I never read the Dead Rabbit, so I don't know if this is a reprint or a continuation of the story. It's probably a continuation. But I read this book, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It's kind of got a little bit of humor at the very beginning, and kind of a compromising pose for the main character on the first panel.
The guy had hemorrhoids. That's what he's talking about.
But you know what? It is an independent book by Image, and that's kind of the stuff you get. But a great story, great plot line. It's kind of like this assassin guy is coming out of retirement because he's blown through his money that he's saved up or stole, and he's aged not very well from what it seems like, but he recognizes some signs in other people, and he's taken out the bad guys, at least what he thinks are the bad guys. But I enjoyed this one. Looking forward to this issue 2 when that comes out, and hopefully this is an ongoing series, and they're probably not going to have any other problems like they did with Dead Rabbit because of the title. So Dead Eyes, a definitely must buy.
To be honest, he actually did have something on his nose.